Okay, so I've got my three files. I've got the, this is the file that has the shots of my actor reacting to something. This is my first object, this is my second object. Okay, now, you know, for the Kuleshov experiment, you're going to shoot 3 shots, but you're going to end up splitting it into 6. Fun. More on that later. Alright, so first thing I want to do is I'm going to get my first shot onto my timeline. So down here, we got several different screens going on here. This one, the screen down in the bottom left, is kind of your bin. It has all the different shots that you have shot and that you can drag over into the timeline. The timeline is where you'll actually work with it. Up here, you'll see in just a moment, I'm going to go ahead and drag one of the clips into the timeline. And just click and drop. And now you can see I've got something in my timeline. And I now have something to look at up here, which is the picture. Okay? Up here is another window that we're not going to worry about for now. So really, we're just worried about this window where you keep the clips, this one where a timeline is, and this one which is showing us the viewer. It shows us what our video looks like. Okay? Now you notice down here it has added another one. This one is the project file that I'm now building. That's going to be important to know a little bit later. Alright, so now as I go down in here, you see that there's a timeline, and you can scrub across the timeline to see the various parts of the video. Alright? That's really handy. So, first thing I want to do with this is I know that I shot more footage than I needed because I was being a good cinematographer, and you shoot more than you need so that you can trim down, right? It's like cutting wood. You can't cut the board longer, but you can cut it shorter. Okay. So, I'm going to scrub across here and find where I want my clip to start. And I want it to start there. Okay? Now, one thing I'll point out, you notice that in the timeline this clip has 2 bars. The one on top is the video bar, and the one on the bottom is the sound bar. We don't actually care about the sound for this project, but you will later, so there it is. Alright, anyways, they'll edit together. So I'm going to go to the left side of this clip, and you notice that I get this funky little red bracket with an arrow symbol. Okay, I'm actually going to drag that over to where I placed the playhead, and it'll trim the clip so that the clip now starts at that point I wanted to start at. I got rid of some of the extra stuff at the beginning. And actually, I'm going to get rid of even more of that. Look at all that shaky camera work. It's like I was shooting it myself. I'm actually going to start it right here. So, again, I'm going to place the playhead, that's what this thing is called, where I want to trim to, and then I'll trim to it. Okay? Fun little fact here. Over here you see there's a little symbol. It's right over here. It looks like a magnet, a U-shaped magnet, and when I mouse over it tells me that that's snap. I want that highlighted or blue because I want things to snap to the lines. Like when I placed the playhead and then I trimmed to it, it snapped to it. Boom. Just like I wanted. Okay? So that's where I'm going to start that. Now you notice that my video is not starting at the beginning of the video anymore, so I'll just drag that over there so it does. Okay. So I've got this, and now as I'm scrubbing through this, I see I've got my actor kind of looking, and then he does a second look, right? So I'm going to move my playhead again to where I want to make the cut, because remember in the reaction shot you're going to split that shot into 2 pieces. Your actor reacted one way and then reacted another, or didn't, just had a neutral reaction throughout. But at some point in there you have to cut it in half, okay? Or you're going to have to, not half necessarily, but you're going to have to cut it. Now for cutting we're going to go and use a different tool. Right now I've been over here, you'll notice there's a row of tools, and it defaults to the arrow tool, for lack of a better name. They call it the selection tool. Looks like an arrow, so I call it the arrow tool. Okay, but for cutting a clip in the middle, I want the razor blade tool, which they actually call the razor tool, and the little symbol looks like a razor blade if you kind of squint and look carefully at it. So I'm going to choose the razor tool, and I'm going to go to where the playhead was because I left the playhead where I wanted to split the clip, and I'm just going to go click, one click, and you'll notice that now this clip is split into two pieces. I'm going to get my arrow tool back. See, there's one piece, there's another, one piece, another, okay? And I can take this second clip, which I'm going to use that for my reaction shot later, and I'm just going to move it over to the side there. Alright, so I know I want to start with the actor noticing something, right? And then on the eye line, the next clip I want is the first thing he sees. So I'm going to take this clip over here of the American flag, and I'm going to put it in the timeline right after that first clip, my nicely trimmed down clip, right? And so now you notice when I scrub over that, it'll go from this clip to the flag. Now I've got a very long flag clip there, so I'm actually going to just say, well, let's just take this much of it. Okay. Okay, so now I've got my two clips there. Okay, if I play it, which by the way I can put the playhead at the beginning and then hit the space bar on the keyboard. And I can see what it looks like. And there's my cut to the second clip. Alright? Okay, lovely. Now I can take this other clip and put it back over here. Alright? You notice when I drag this over, it snaps to it. Snaps to it. Okay, so here's my second reaction. I'm going to trim it to that. I was chewing gum at the time, which, by the way, I don't necessarily recommend having your actors chew gum unless it's a character thing, but it was a character thing. Let's just call it that. Alright, but really what I did is I put the clip on. It's maybe hard to see in this video, but I'll put the demonstration up, but I put the actor raises his eyebrow. Okay. Now, copy and paste. Remember, we're going to reuse the same edits for the two the eyeline shot and the reaction shot of the actor. We're going to reuse those. So I'm going to go over here to the first clip and click on that, and either Control C for copy, or you can right click and get this really long list of options, but somewhere on this list of options is copy. Okay, so I've copied that first one, I selected it, then I copied it. I'm going to move over here and move the playhead to off of where the other clips are, and then I'm going to, this time I'm going to Control V for paste. You could do it with that right mouse button, and you notice that clip is now is there. So it's the same clip as that one, copied, right? And then I'm going to get the second object shot, and I'm going to move that over next to it, and I'm going to decide how to trim that. So I'm going to trim that. I'm going to move the playhead again. I want it to go there. So I'm going to have it start there and end there. No, not there. There. Have it end there. Okay? And then I will drag it over right next to that first clip, so I have, again, the actor notices something, eyeline shot shows us what he sees, and then I'm going to go back here again, remember, because we're copying and pasting the same clip. So I'm going to copy, Control C, move the playhead over to the end here, Control V to paste it, and there I have the object and actor's reaction, right? In between, you'll notice, in between the two Kuleshov edits, the two montages would be the correct term, between the two montages, remember montage means assembly, is I put just a little blank space. What's going to happen in that blank space? Answer. Here, I'm going to play over it. Nothing. It just gives us a little black, right? So we know what's in between the two. All right. You can notice over here that there's bouncing green lines. That's showing us that there is video level in the video. But you can't hear it in the computer lab. Why? Because nobody wants to listen to 20 computers all playing something at the same time. Bring your headphones. All right, so that's it. We have edited a Kuleshov experiment project. We now have a completed film.